One night, on the vast steppes of ancient Mongolia, under the faint light of the moon, two legendary warriors came together. The spirits of Genghis Khan and Napoleon seemed to descend from heaven. They decided to unite to create a new dominance over the world. In this union, their combined power was a weapon that history had never seen before. Genghis Khan gathered his Mongolian cavalry. Each was disciplined, swift, and deadly. The Mongol army was known throughout history for its impregnable fortresses and destructive forces. Napoleon, on the other hand, assembled the European army. His soldiers were masters of tactics and strategy, having perfected the nuances of every attack. With the merging of the two commanders, the most advanced scientific minds of their era came together. These minds created a new weapon, the Spear of Victory. This spear utilized a special energy and could destroy everything around it. The spear stood in the midst of the united armies, granting them unparalleled power. Genghis Khan and Napoleon spent for months preparing their combined armies. They renewed their soldiers' weapons and tactical knowledge. The Mongolian cavalry and Napoleon's infantry adapted to each other, learning to move together. When the agility of the Mongol army combined with the discipline of Napoleon's army, a unique combat force was formed. At the heart of this force stood the Spear of Victory. The first battle began on the vast plains of Europe. Before them was a powerful coalition. The armies of England, Prussia, Austria, and Russia had united. As Genghis Khan and Napoleon's combined armies advanced, the enemies felt their immense power. Napoleon's artillery units began firing at enemy positions from afar. Cannonballs created gaps in the enemy lines. Meanwhile, Genghis Khan's cavalry quickly moved to attack the enemy's rear lines. The Mongol cavalry surprised the enemy, destroying their rear positions. In the heat of the battle, the Spear of Victory emerged. This powerful weapon destroyed enemy positions with a beam of light. With the beam's impact, enemy soldiers could not rise from their places. The destructive power of the spear kept the enemies in a state of fear. They had no chance to fight against this power. After the first battle, the united armies turned to Eastern Europe. Genghis Khan and Napoleon prepared for a second battle on the vast plains of Russia. The Russian army had taken position in the harsh conditions of winter. But this could not shake the determination of Genghis Khan and Napoleon. A grand battle began on the Russian plains. Genghis Khan's cavalry again attacked the enemy's rear lines. Napoleon's infantry units tried to destroy the enemy's central line. During this battle, the Spear of Victory was activated again. With its destructive power, the Russian army began to disintegrate. After Russia, their goal was to conquer China and India as well. Although the various peoples of Asia united against them, they could not withstand the power of the united armies. Genghis Khan and Napoleon's united armies advanced. Without recognizing any borders, they forced every country to bow down. From the Caspian Sea to the Atlantic Ocean, from the Himalayas to the vast deserts of Africa, every land was theirs. The world united under one empire. As the victories of Genghis Khan and Napoleon began to echo in every corner of the world, U.S. leaders realized the necessity of standing against this new power. America mobilized its forces to counter, with modern weapons and immense economic potential. While preparing to fight against Genghis Khan and Napoleon's armies, they united their allies in both Eastern and Western Europe. The U.S. president, maintaining close contact with world leaders, developed a comprehensive defense strategy. Great battles began over the Atlantic Ocean. The U.S. Navy and Air Force fought against Genghis Khan and Napoleon's naval forces. Experienced commanders on both sides made these battles very difficult and intense. The impact of the Spear of Victory was evident in these battles as well, but America and its allies tried to find weaknesses in this powerful weapon. The battles continued day and night. The air battles over the Atlantic were accompanied by relentless attacks of land and naval forces against each other. American submarines attacked and tried to destroy Genghis Khan and Napoleon ships. American ground forces were deployed in Europe and launched attacks against the forces of Genghis Khan and Napoleon. The U.S. infantry and mechanized units were equipped with high technology. These units were specially trained to counter the strategic superiority of Napoleon's army. The tanks and mechanized infantry units of America began advancing across the vast plains of Europe. The armies of Napoleon and Genghis Khan positioned themselves strategically to intercept them. Both sides' soldiers knew this battle would go down in history, and no one intended to retreat. In one of the battles, in eastern France, the main forces of the two armies faced each other. General Markson, the commander of the American army, prepared a plan to attack. His strategy was to break through the center of Napoleon's army, splitting it in two. According to this plan, America's tanks would advance from the center, while the infantry would attack from the flanks. Napoleon, showcasing his tactical skills, had prepared to counter the American assault. He positioned his infantry in deep trenches and placed his artillery on strategic hills. Napoleon's goal was to trap the American tanks in these trenches and narrow passes. When the battle began, America's tanks started advancing. They quickly approached Napoleon's positions, but Napoleon's artillery and infantry opened heavy fire to stop them. Some of the tanks were destroyed, but the rest continued to advance. As the battle intensified, Genghis Khan and Napoleon decided to use the Spear of Victory again. They believed this powerful weapon would halt the American advance. However, America was prepared this time. They had formed a special team to track and destroy the energy source of this weapon. The American Special Operations Group secretly moved to the rear lines of Genghis Khan and Napoleon's armies at night. They found the energy source of the Spear of Victory and attempted to destroy it. During this operation, the group faced many challenges, but ultimately succeeded in destroying the energy source. The Spear of Victory was no longer functional. After the Spear of Victory was destroyed, Genghis Khan and Napoleon's armies began to weaken. The American forces started to annihilate them one by one. Battles continued throughout Western Europe. Every village, every town witnessed fierce fighting. Finally, a major battle took place in central Germany. This was the last great confrontation between the two sides. As the battle began, both sides put all their strength into it. The Americans tried to break through the center of Napoleon's army by destroying his artillery, while Genghis Khan's cavalry attacked the American flanks. The battle was very intense. Both sides suffered heavy losses. However, due to America's superior technology and strategic advantage, they gradually advanced. Napoleon and Genghis Khan's armies were forced to retreat. Finally, the American army captured their main headquarters, and the battle ended. After the defeat of Genghis Khan and Napoleon, the world entered a new era. The cities and countries destroyed by the war began to be rebuilt. America and its allies came together to create a new world order. They aimed to learn from past mistakes and establish peace and stability in the world. The technologies developed during the war were used to improve people's lives in the post-war period. New energy sources, medical technologies, and other innovations boosted human development. The world became more united and stronger. The destruction caused by Genghis Khan and Napoleon highlighted the importance of unity and peace. People understood how crucial cooperation and maintaining peace were. World leaders came together for peace and unity, and worked to create a brighter future for humanity in this new era. The spirits of the two great warriors of the past, Genghis Khan and Napoleon, finally found peace. Their combined armies left deep marks in world history. But in the end, peace and unity prevailed. Humanity, learning from the lessons of the past, moved towards the future stronger and more hopeful. Thus, the war of the combined armies of Genghis Khan and Napoleon left indelible marks in world history. But ultimately, peace and unity triumphed. This story depicts the power of past legends and humanity's quest for peace.